Let's discuss the pros and cons of the 2021 Chevy Silverado 1500. First, let's cover the lay of the land, the trims, of course. You've got the WT, that's your standard. We've got the custom Trail Boss, the RST, the LT Trail Boss, the LTZ, and the High Country to round it out. So price range anywhere from around 29,000 MSRP to 53,000 for the High Country. Now, of course, you're not maxed out on all your options, even on the High Country, so you can go up even higher than that. Your base powertrain is going to be a 4.3-liter V6 with 285 horsepower, about 305 pound-feet of torque, and obviously you've got that right around that 28.6, 29,000 MSRP. So that's available in WT, the Custom, and the Custom Trail Boss. So further, you do have 4 other engines available. You got a 5.3-liter V8 that'll kick out about 355 horsepower. So that one's available in all trims if you want to upgrade. 2.7-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder with 310 horsepower. A 6.2-liter V8 with 420 horsepower, which I really love that one. And a 3-liter 6-cylinder. That's a turbo diesel. So you're going to be kicking out 277 horsepower with that one. So let's cover the pros real quick. So most important pro about the Silverado is how much variety, in my opinion, that there is within the Silverado trims and powertrains. So when you sell as many trucks as the Chevy Silverado does, then the company has the option and the ability to create extra opportunities to customize the ideal truck for you. So if you don't like being stuck in traditional trims, if you like to have a few more options, including the powertrain, then you know what? Silverado might be just what you're looking for. The 2021 model year has really upped their towing game as well, so most powertrains throughout the lineup are significantly improved and just make this Silverado that much more versatile. I actually feel like the drive quality is improved even with a bit more weight when you're towing too, which makes it interesting. These trucks are definitely built for towing. So speaking of which, you've got 13,300 pounds of max trailering and 2,280 of max payload. So lots of heft to lug around, and you've got your bases covered. So the base level WT is available with that 4.3-liter Ecotec V6 engine, which is pretty interesting in my opinion, or the 5.3-liter. So keep that in mind. V8 there engine, or even the 2.7 I'm seeing here too. Wow, my goodness. So you've got 3 different engine or powertrains that you can choose from in that base level. So that just reminded me, my goodness, I forgot about how versatile that WT is, your worker's truck for sure. The base level WT is also available with optional Z71 off-road package. You've got trailering package and the work truck safety package as well. So definitely some add-ons that can kick up safety quite a bit, or the fun factor as well. Let's talk about the exterior of the Silverado. So exterior features definitely great styling accents in my opinion, and the Silverado screams classic truck from the outside. So it's got a few gentle curves, and it has more of a less is more look to it in my opinion. Shows a lot of restraint, and you want to buy a truck that looks like a truck, right? You don't want to get lost in too many bells and whistles on the exterior. You want to see it and know that it's a workhorse. And that's really what the Silverado does, in my opinion, even from your base level. I think it looks great. If I'm looking to upgrade the powertrain, that 6.2-liter V8 looks juicy. So we got 420 horsepower. That is sweet. Obviously, you're going to get a lot more get up and go. Significantly better 0 to 60 time for those highway merges, and there's also a dynamic fuel management system that permits virtually the same fuel efficiency as the base level V6, at least according to the numbers. So that is interesting as well. So you can upgrade to that V8 and not lose out on your gas mileage. Interesting. I love just the simple things about a Silverado, right? The bumper step. Thank you so much. It's essential, and it's basically on every Silverado. I wish every truck out there had a bumper step. Obviously, they're doing these kick-out You've got kick-out stairs and things like that that come off the sides as well as the back, but of other vehicles, I should say, not the Silverado. But what is so nice about it is the simplicity of a bumper step. It's there. You can get up easy. You don't have to worry about it failing on you after using it for the third time. So huge plus in my book. Yeah, it's basically no nerdy, like uncomfortable pull-out ladder that'll deteriorate like after 5 years. So um, you do also have a convenient and easy bench seat in the center of the front. So huge armrest without using it as a bench seat, obviously. You're not fiddling around with getting it up and out. It's just a quick flip. There it is. Nothing to get too worried about. Love that as a simplicity thing. And Silverado is truly, because of that, built for the working person to use as a daily driver. So lower trims are definitely simple, right? But they have everything you need on the job, which is the most important thing in my opinion. Let's talk about gauge cluster as well. So to me, it's almost nostalgic, super classic, super simple. And when you get in this truck, you almost bristle with like the pride of its simplicity, right? This truck gets things done and doesn't really rely upon the bells and whistles. Obviously, you can upgrade to it, but there's no need to, in my opinion. I love a simple gauge cluster. We're not dealing with too much, digital everything, you want to feel like you're in a truck, and that's what the Silverado does, right? um, you do also have the driver's seat tailgate button, super easy. You don't need to get out of the truck. Others can just toss stuff in and then you hit the button again and you can be on your way. So if you're sitting there hauling a few things, call your buddy up, say, hey, bring it out, do all the work for me. Here's the tailgate's down, put it in. You got that covered as well. I do um, think that Silverado beds are no-brainers, right? So nice and wide, plenty of tie-down points and hooks for straps for hauling whatever you need. So you're not going to be hunting around. You're not going to be stuck into positioning your payload, your towing in specific ways so that you can actually strap it down. No, you've got a lot of flexibility built into that. Backseat ventilation for the kids. We've got that in the Silverado. Didn't used to be standard. It is now, as of I think a couple of years ago, in fact. So no fighting in the back seat. And if your kids are 5 or if your kids are 35, you know how important a good air vent is in the back, especially on those long hauls. You're not worrying about sending some extra air from the front seats to the back. You've got it covered already in the back. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are standard. Thank you very much. Infotainment system is not splashy, but that matches well with the interior, right? It's not splashy on the inside, so it's not this sort of gaudy thing that just doesn't fit in. It fits in nicely, and I see that as a pro. And backup camera standard. You've got USB charging, all the works, right? How about some cons? Cons are it's a basic truck for the most part, right? Especially on the lower trims. So you've got a lot of cheaper looking plastic, right? Certainly not like an unprecedented beauty of any sort, especially on the interior. But most people buy these Silverados for their functionality. And you know what? All that plastic that's in there is super functional. Easy to clean up. You're not going to worry about scuffing it, so you've got that going for you. Even maxed out, the Chevy Silverado will never feel as luxurious as much of the competition is, so that's not really going to be something you're going after, in my opinion. At least I wouldn't. So seats aren't the most comfortable, so long hauls with this truck could easily become a bit of a burden. Might need to stop a few times, a little more than average, to stretch those legs and stretch that lower back as well. I am not a huge fan of the headlights. They leave a little bit to be desired. You probably want to change out some of those bulbs. Throw some LEDs in, something like that, in order to get a bit more light. Only a 4-star safety rating from the NHTSA, so you're looking at a 4-star front crash. You've got a 5-star side crash and a 4-star rollover rating. You got a 19.8% rollover rating, which not the best, but it's a truck, so keep those wheels on the road, my friend. Let's go back again to what I said was a pro, is again that infotainment. It's not splashy, so some people can look at that as a con. Also, you can only upgrade to an 8-inch if you wanted to spend a bit of extra cash. If you plan on keeping the truck around for the next 10 plus years, then that's likely not a problem, because you are going to be putting it through its paces. But if you're one of those people that tends to rinse and repeat every 4 to 6 years, then it feels like the infotainment will probably be a little obsolete by then, which could, hinder your selling price, especially if you're selling general public. However, I mean, that could probably be said about most vehicles. Let's be honest. 5, 6 years, most infotainments, no matter how splashy and beautiful they really are, will probably seem a little obsolete. Something else is going to be out there. So, and lastly, jury's still out on the Duramax 3.0 liter, the diesel. There's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of good news out there, but I don't think it actually is living up to the hype. It's still a great engine, don't get me wrong, but it's fallen just a little bit short of their projections. Um, that said, I mean, the high projections and it almost getting there, is that really a con, or is that just a slightly muted pro with that engine? I don't know. You can be the judge of that. So that's it for the 2021 Chevy Silverado 1500. Just sort of a base look at the lineup itself. Obviously, we'll get a bit more in depth on specific trims in the future, but for now, you've got that as your base. Good luck in your truck hunting.